AQA target clear, ZigZag task, task 8? Yeah, task 8. Okay. Challenge mode. So this one I kind of like passed on the stream, but actually looking at it, it's not as bad as I feared, certainly. Okay, so we extend the skeleton program by introducing a challenge mode, which means that there's going to be a bonus score if we use all of the numbers available and deduct point if we don't. So we should have a 25% chance of challenge mode being triggered each turn. We already have imported random, so we're fine. When triggered, the user should be told then you use offline numbers, so we put a message, and then right, they will be told that we need to tell the kind of deduction and so on, and then the bonus or negative malus, right? That only happens once. We've already dealt with that kind of stuff in the score, where kind of you just put one at the bottom. And yeah, we need to modify play game. Well, let's kind of like fork the file as Z8 or ZZ8, Z8, whatever. Okay, side by side, and and then what we need to do is modify play game so that we can warn the user, because this is where we get the play game, is we get the main loop of every turn. So this is where we're going to kind of like draw one user, and we might need to, what are we going to, how are we going to handle this? Well, oh, they want us to modify this one. I wouldn't have done that. But why not? Okay, so that means we're going to need to pass a flag to check input evaluation's target. That's like a mouthful. Check if user input evaluation is a target. I mean, to be fair, it's almost like the whole code right there. Still too big in challenge mode, so if it's identified and if you use all of the numbers and numbers allowed, how am I going to do that? Because numbers allowed doesn't even... Okay, I don't have numbers allowed. Like, I don't... all the numbers in numbers allowed, I don't know. But what I do know is, like, how many numbers I have in the RPN expression, and I can check whether that is 5. And that's probably what I'm going to do here, rather than do that, right? And then... yeah, and then we do the plus 10, minus 10, right? So this is where we're going to put a flag somewhere. All right, so I think I kind of got this. So the draw is in play game. We have random, yeah. So we just imported the whole random package. So if are we not doing? That's how random works again. Real quick. Yeah, all right, so you will get a number between 0 and 1 if you don't pass anything to this. So if we do one of those, and if it's smaller than 0.25 or equal, I don't know the boundaries, it doesn't really matter, then we are gonna say challenge mode is true, because we are in challenge mode, and that's kind of all we do at this now. Well, yeah, it's all we do at this stage. I'm not going to display the messages in the same conditional, because I just want to kind of like at least test, yeah, use that variable here. So if challenge mode, you know what, let's put an else as well if you're going to test it later on, right? So you're not going to have something, you can never have something that hinges on something happening. I don't know, I might, but like usually that makes them difficult to test, right? Because I mean, with that probability, maybe not. But okay, so if we're in challenge mode, then we are going to print challenge. No, I'm going to do like that. G-E-M-O-D-E the 1, 2, 3, 4 I think I had, and then 4 bangs. Oh, perfectionist 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 1, 2, 3 actually, yeah, right? I'm good. 1, 2, 1, yeah, whatever. Challenge mode, yeah, print, not the capitalized print. All. You succeed. You know what? Whatever. Yeah, like this is plus 10. We're losing time here. I feel like or minus 5. If you succeed, plus 10. If not, minus 5. So it doesn't change anything, any logic here. It's just a message, right? And the challenge mode, we're gonna need to pass it to check if user input evaluation is a target, because I guess this is where we do the scoring. Fair enough. I would have put like whatever. Yeah, we can be outside the loop in that one as well. So in here we need to score, but also whether we're in target mode. Just like we get challenge mode or training mode, training game, right? As a boolean that passes through various. Not target mode. Well, I'm just confusing myself. Challenge mode. Challenge. I just not a good finger there actually. Challenge mode, and then in here we need to accept challenge. Are we not doing? What's happening? We're not auto completing. Oh. Right. So, although we may match several instances of the target, copies of the same numbers in the targets list, ultimately this will either be true or false, right? So you know what, it's fine, it doesn't matter because we can do anything else, right? So if, okay, so user input in RPA, and this is where I'm going to remind myself, I think it's a list. If I'd done something like that before. I did something where we need to figure out like the operands, which was, there was like 5, wasn't it? Okay, real quick. So there was this thing with the bonus thing about, yeah, right? In task 5, we counted the operands, which I can't even remember how we did this. Okay, select for compare. This is kind of just compare selected. So I did that before, and that was, yeah, so we searched the thing where there is not none, right? So, well, those are already the operands, to be fair. That's actually what we need, because you can't use repeat numbers, although there's a task to use repeat numbers. Okay, I'm getting myself distracted, right? So the numbers, the point is that we have, sorry, I should do it from scratch. I don't know, I kind of need to remind myself, but because there's several ways to check if something is a number and you don't want to reinvent the wheel. And also you can check that something is a number by saying it's not one of the plus, minus, star, slash, right? So the way to check something is number is like this regular expression, which really says, if in that second string, we can match, so our research is going to return all of the matches. We can match this regular expression, which is the beginning of the string, and then 0 to 9. Oh, that's so wrong. Anyway, at the beginning of the string, and yeah, no, that's fine actually. It just counts the digit, but like it's just not the right way to go about it. But anyway, it's the beginning of the string, end of the string, and then one or more. Yeah, the one or more digits, right? So that's and is not none means we have found something, meaning it is a digit, right? So this is what the command we're going to use, and we're going to paste it just wholesale wherever I was. So I think we kind of doing this the same way, right? We do kind of like numbers used. I'm not going to call them operands, but it's the same deal. Yes, I'm confident, right? You cannot use more than 5 numbers. If you get 5 numbers, you get all of the numbers allowed, right? Right, guys? Because otherwise you could have done it here, right? Like if, like that would have been ideal. because we remove the numbers used, and then boom, if at this stage numbers allowed is blank, right? And then you're like, oh, cool, right, you've passed or failed the thing, and I would have scored you, you know, just once after the thing. But they want us to put it over there. So to start with, I'll do it like they're asking. So if challenge mode is on, so numbers used is the list of x's, x in user input in RPN, user in. Now don't get tripped up, right? User input, this evaluate RPN will modify this in place. So if you read the contents of user input in RPN after line 65, it is empty. The list is going to be empty. So we need to do it before. So for all of the elements on this, if, and that was my regular expression, except in here, I'm going to put x. And so those are the numbers used. And then if we, what's interesting about the challenge mode is that I don't think they tell you if you just mess up like the normal way, right? Do you take a -1 or whatever it is and stay in challenge mode? Or do, I don't know, do you also take the -5 because you could have double messed up? I think if the target identify, but the user has not used all the numbers, right? That's why it should be in, that's why it should be in kind of this one, right? So in that case, if the length, literally the length of numbers used is equal to 5, then we have challenge mode. So if we are in challenge mode and we have used the number, the challenge met is true, we have met the challenge, else the challenge met, we haven't met the challenge. Okay, I could do it, no, I'm not going to do it. I could do it in fewer lines, but it's not competition. Well, only to some. So here, right, so I'm going to go over all of, well, I'm going to go over a bunch of stuff, right, but like, we're going over this for loop, that's an if, right, if we've matched. And then that's the for loop that loops over the all of targets, you know, for find the matches. So once we're still in the loop, now I'm out of the loop. And so out of the loop, I've completed and matched all of the targets if there were any. If we're in challenge mode, not with, I don't know, I've been writing a lot of text, so I tend to capitalize my, if challenge mode, and if I could do with some ends, but whatever. If we've challenge met, if it's true, then score, this one's capitalized, score plus equal 10 if we made it, right? And else score minus equal 5. But that's only if we're in challenge mode, right? And if you know, do you know, I'm also gonna put, so if we've matched something, then only then you get the plus 10 minus 5. So if you fail, you can always dodge challenge mode by always taking a penalty of -1. If you know, once you start playing competitively in target clear to maximize your strategy for whatever. I think we're good. I think that's, let's run it over the flagpole and see if it salutes. Don't know where that comes from. Boom, boom. Right, so just like playing a training game, and we're going to keep losing until, okay, 8 times 5. Challenge mode, yeah, cool. All right, so thankfully, all I need to do is pick the one I want to clear. I'm going to pick 20, right? And then open up my calculator. So I'm going to pick 20, and I'm going to go and multiply it by every single of the available numbers. 7, and 6, and 3, and 3, and 3. And so this number, which is larger than the kind of allowed range, obviously, is not in the available numbers, but because there's a bug in the check, right? We only check here. It looks like actually we check next number. I don't know. I think that this works, right? So like if we do this, and then I'm going to divide it by 7 and divide, oh, without the spaces, obviously. Divide 7, divide 6, divide 3, divide 3, divide 3. And I completely failed? No, I cleared a 20, didn't I? I cleared a 20, but somehow managed to take a -2. Oh, this is the worst kind of bug, because like it's not an error, it's like a logical bug, and no, okay, fine. So we're gonna need to take to the debugger then. All right, to the debug mobile. Okay, I don't need all of those shells. They're sold by the seashore by she and JFC. Okay, I'm gonna put a breakpoint here because no vibes and so on, and then we're good. Okay. Debug. I've got my watch expression. I don't have a watch expression then, but I'm going to definitely start putting some on. Okay, no, yeah, we had a that's kind of like on the right. Okay. I just need to play normal games now, right? Fine, like 1 + 1. I don't have a 2, but that's 3 times 1 + 1. No, 5 + 1. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. So we've matched something, but we're not in challenge mode, so we're going to skip over that. But the numbers used are 5 and 1. I'm happy that I've got my list, and the score is 4 because we matched 2 of them. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we matched 2 of them, 4, and then there's -1 for the thing, right? So we still not in challenge mode, so I don't know, 3 times, I need to kind of move faster, 3 times 1. So that's still all kind of kosher. I think normally that's just, you'll just kind of like, oh, game over. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's not gonna help me much, is it? Yeah, okay, I need to launch the debugger from here. No, this is bad. Do not like this at all. It's because I had the right number, right? And the length of numbers used is equal to 5, which... Oh, but I cheated because it was equal to 6. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna... All right, okay. Everything is absolutely correct in what I've done. Because I did get I did clear them, and I probably cleared a bunch of them, and then, I cleared at least 1 and then got the -5, so that's why the score wasn't what I expected, but now I see what the problem is. Okay, so if I don't even need to debug it. Fine, it will be in debug mode, I can live with that. Just makes it a bit slower, as you can see. And a random game, please. Yeah, we're in challenge mode, super, right, okay, so... Well, let's mess it up to start with, right? Like, so I can clear 7 with 7 times 1. So this is going to give me 1 point, but then -5, so -4. 7, 1. That challenge met. Okay, yeah, no, it's larger or equal. The challenge shouldn't be met, right? I'm glad I left the debugger on then. Random game. 4 times 7 plus 4. Yeah. So challenge mode met full, challenge mode full. We're not in challenge mode. All right, now we are. Let's try one that breaks. I mean, at least let's match something. Well, if we don't match anything, if we match something, 8 divide 2. Yeah, 8 times 10 divide 2 plus 3. I'm almost there, though. 8 times 10 divide 2 plus 3. Is there a 51 there? That'd be helpful. But I only get 4. It's close, but no cigar. All right, so challenge met is false, challenge mode is true. The score at this stage is 3, but I'm going to take a 5 penalty because I failed the challenge mode. So, and then the -1 penalty that you take all the time as well, right? I would have 3, and then I would have made it like a score of 2. Yeah, it's just way this damn thing works. It's 1 plus 2, and then the minus 1 here. I just, yeah, whatever, right? So let's keep on going until I might need to start. I need to kind of pay attention to the front though if I want to kind of not lose more time. Well, let's see if I can get a challenge mode before that. Right. Now, if I don't match anything, if I say 1 plus 1, so I was at -4, I should just come back to, I should go to -1 of score, right? Ooh. But you shouldn't check challenge met. That's what I said. I know this was going to kind of trip me up. Oh, because we're in challenge mode. Oh, sorry. There's like user input evaluation is a target. So user input evaluation is a target. That's a boolean, not the user input evaluation. I mean, to be fair, they are sensibly named. Just don't like the styling of it. All right, and let's try it a 4th time. I mean, it is a realistic, I suppose only 20 minutes. Realistic amount of time and frustration that involve in section D task. Okay, straight in challenge mode. I wanted to check what. Right, if I don't match anything, I'm good, right? So 7 plus 3, is there a 10 in there? No, okay. Didn't match anything, score 0. I'm going to take a score -1 later on, but like just score -1. I don't lose the challenge because it wasn't set to me. 7 plus 7, 3 times 7 plus. Fine, I'm just going to. What happened to move back? Okay, let's just run it without the debugger, it's going to be a bit quicker. Okay, challenge mode. And, well, let's take the 29, right? That 29 I had at the front, because that's the fret. 29, I multiplied by 4, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 3, and that's this big number, but still larger than the max, so 3 for 80, and that's what I'm kind of putting a 6 number, hence the kind of larger or equal, and I divide now by everything, and because it does it in order, right, kind of it's kind of, we don't need to without the spaces, gosh darn it. Divide 2, divide 5, divide 1, divide 3. I hope those are the same number I used. Yes, right. So I was at +3, -3. I got +2 for clearing the first one, so -1, and the -1 I got +10, so I got to 9, and then back here I had my score set like again -1, so I'm back to 8, right? So that's kind of yeah, that's 10 for -3 to +8. That's kind of the 10 points minus. There's the 10 point plus the 1 point for clearing the 1 target. And in no less than 23 minutes, that's a good one. Okay, no, let's look at the diff. Let's look at the diff. Let's look at this real quick, because I know I'm getting frustrated with it, but just because I'm frustrated doesn't mean that I should deprive you of some excellent knowledge. I should really push those to GitHub if anyone wants the source, but I've already got it as the base. Just going to compare select it. But that would be spoiling your learning. Right, so we have a random draw to figure out whether we go to challenge mode or not. If in challenge mode we print that banner that does nothing just to print, we have this random line break that's new, not needed. We pass the challenge mode boolean to check if user input evaluation is a target. Check if user input evaluation is a target. Yeah, and we get numbers used in the same manner we did for the operands, so it's a bit of a, we know that they are as numbers in the as int, right, in user input and RPN. So for each of those, if they match that regular expression, that is if search returns not none. It's weird, right, because there are better ways. If you just want to do a simple match using the RE package, whatever, I'm not going to moan about this. After all, they have to kind of deliver it across 4 languages, so there may be constraints above, as it were. And so we have the numbers used. We may or may not use them. Frankly, I could also put this in. No, I can't put this in here because user implementation will be blank. So I'm going to do this every time whether I use them or not. That's fine. And so if we're in challenge mode and the length is equal to 5, oh, larger, right? Because you can cheat a bit. Then the challenge mode is true, or it's not true. and we keep this. This is important, right? Because this tells us whether we actually had a match or not. So if we're in challenge mode and we had a match, we check the value of challenge met and amend the score accordingly. We only do that once, right? Because it's outside of the loop of the matching of the targets. And with that, that's the diff. Phew. But still, we got there, right? And I've got my stress. This is a Christmas present for my mother, a stress chong. And it looks exactly like my chunky cat as well. I've got some beautiful pictures right there. I'm going to drop, no, okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. And I'll see you for another, I was looking at